The Office of Government Commerce. In 2008, the UK's Office of Government Commerce unveiled a new logo meant to modernize its image, costing £14,000. However, some people saw something weird when they rotated it 90 degrees, a figure in a suggestive act, sparking instant mockery. The logo was deemed inappropriate for a government body, but the OGC didn't change the logo. A spokesperson tried to brush it off with humor, saying it symbolized a firm grip on spending. The embarrassment lingered until the agency was absorbed into another department in 2011. The London Rippers were a short-lived minor league baseball team from London, Ontario in Canada. Their name and logo referenced Jack the Ripper, the infamous serial killer, with a cloaked figure that many felt made light of violence against women. The backlash was swift, especially from groups like the London Abused Women's Centre, who called the branding tasteless, offensive and inappropriate for a community sport. Amid the controversy, the team rebranded as the London Nationals, but the damage was done. By July 2012, the Rippers shut down completely. Clinica Dental San Marcelino's logo was meant to show a dentist treating a patient, but the design went viral for all the wrong reasons. To many, it looked more like a graphic act than a medical procedure. The suggestive image sparked jokes, with people questioning whether the clinic offered extra services. Though its exact location is unclear, possibly the Philippines, the backlash was strong enough that the logo was quietly pulled. Uncle Ben's launched in the 1940s and was the top-selling rice brand in the US for decades. The logo featured a black man known as Uncle Ben, a term once used in the American South instead of respectful titles like Mr. The name was inspired by a Texas farmer known for his rice, while the image came from Frank Brown, a Chicago waiter who posed for the brand in 1947. But over time, the branding faced backlash for racial stereotyping. In 2020, after George Floyd's murder and rising calls for change, Mars, the owner of the brand, announced it would rebrand. The company went with Ben's original, dropping both the title and the face. Astyle was an Italian clothing brand that gained notoriety in the late 90s for its logo, which is supposed to be a simple stylized A. However, some people saw two figures in a suggestive position and claimed that the provocative design was no accident. In the 2000s, the logo exploded in popularity and could be seen on almost every traffic light in Milan. Even top athletes like Lionel Messi promoted the clothes, and the brand made around 13 million euro in turnover. But some stores refused to sell the brand, and in 2005, Italy's Court of Milan ruled the logo violated public morality laws. Like many trendy Italian brands of the era, Astyle's hype faded as quickly as it rose. Today's video is sponsored by Private Internet Access, the best VPN for digital privacy. Browsing without a VPN is like shopping with a giant name tag on your back. Everyone sees who you are and what you're doing. I use Private Internet Access not just for privacy, but to get better travel deals. Flight sites often show you higher prices based on your location. With PIA, I switch my server, compare prices, and save real money. Private Internet Access also hides your IP, encrypts your traffic, and blocks snooping from ISPs, network admins, and government filters. It's the world's most transparent VPN. Over 30 million downloads with a strict no-logs policy proven in court. It's perfect for streaming too. When Rick and Morty isn't available in my country, I just switch my location to the US, reload Hulu, and I'm in. PIA has service in 91 countries and every US state, and it's one of the few VPNs that support peer-to-peer sharing. It works on every platform as well, and one subscription protects unlimited devices. Use my link piavpn.com/ProfessorStein to get 83% off. That's just $2 a month, plus 4 extra months for free. Risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Mrs. Butterworth Syrup, an American brand launched in 1961 and owned by Conagra, is known for its bottle shaped like a matronly woman. In 2020, during heightened attention to racial issues, the brand faced criticism for resembling the mammy stereotype. Conagra responded by announcing a review of its branding, acknowledging the design could be seen as out of step with its values. Though the company stated the character was meant to represent a kind grandmother, critics saw it as racially insensitive. Rumors also surfaced, without evidence, that the character was based on Butterfly McQueen, a black actress from Gone with the Wind. Despite the promised review, as of 2025, the brand still uses the same bottle design. University of California. In 2012, the University of California introduced a new logo for marketing use meant to modernize its image. But instead of modernizing the brand, it was widely ridiculed. Most people said it looked like a toilet seat or a loading symbol. Though it was never meant to replace the official seal, the backlash was immediate. Students slammed it for being bland and out of touch with the university's reputation. Petitions circulated, memes spread, and the criticism and embarrassment forced the university to drop the logo altogether. SherwinWilliams is an American paints and coatings company with a logo that has stirred controversy for over a century. Titled Cover the Earth, the logo, in use since 1906, shows red paint spilling over a globe. Meant to symbolize global market reach, it's been criticized for looking like blood, pollution, or planetary suffocation. Environmentalists have called it outdated and unsettling. Others go further, seeing the red as a metaphor for communism pouring over the world and reading the initials SWP as a nod to the Socialist Workers' Party. Despite decades of criticism, the logo remains unchanged. IHOP is an American pancake house restaurant chain that unveiled a controversial logo in 2015. The goal was simple: make it look happier. So they added a bright red curve under the O and P to mimic a smile, representing a customer's happiness when biting into a stack of pancakes. But the public saw something else. Critics said it looked more like a clown on the brink of psychopathy forcing a grin, wide-eyed and unsettling, like a deranged mascot with the P even resembling a tear. The red and blue color scheme, meant to feel friendly, was called jarring and too intense for a family-friendly brand. The new look was also accused of being a pointless simplification. Still, despite the harsh reactions and creepy comparisons, IHOP stuck with it. Pepsi. In 2008, Pepsi dropped a redesigned logo that cost $1 million and instantly drew backlash, not just for how it looked, but for the bizarre document that explained it. The Arnell Group's 27-page design brief linked the tilted, smile-like shape to everything from the Mona Lisa to the Parthenon to DNA and the path of sunlight. Critics called it branding lunacy. Online, the logo was torn apart. Memes compared it to an overweight person's belly or buttocks, with some even accusing Pepsi of mocking its own customers. Others said it looked like the Obamacare logo. While the design itself was just a minimal update, the over-the-top explanation made it a joke. Despite the ridicule, Pepsi stuck with it for 9 years. The Kudawara Pharmacy, a small Japanese drugstore, became internet famous for all the wrong reasons. Its logo, meant to be a stylized K, ended up looking like an act that's rather done in private. The imagery was considered wildly inappropriate for a healthcare provider, and the backlash led to the logo being dropped. The company is no longer in business, at least under this name. Australian made. In 2020, Australia rolled out a new national logo meant to represent the country's floral emblem, the golden wattle. But its spiky, circular design hit a nerve. It looked uncannily like a virus. The timing couldn't have been worse, launched in the middle of a global pandemic. Public and political critics piled on. A Queensland Parliament member even mocked it, saying school kids could have done better. Though the logo wasn't officially scrapped, the backlash was enough to keep the familiar kangaroo logo in use elsewhere. The Computer Doctors, a small local tech repair service, ran into unexpected trouble with its logo. They swapped the U in computer for a computer mouse, but the flaccid shape and the placement made it look like something completely else. Instead of looking tech-savvy, the logo came off as accidentally obscene. Public mockery was swift and the design was quietly pulled. Safe Place, a non-profit organization near Kentucky supporting at-risk youth, launched a program in 1983 to offer immediate help to children in crisis. But its original logo stirred discomfort instead of trust. The design, showing a larger figure hugging a smaller one from behind, was widely seen as unsettling and even predatory. Critics said the imagery sent the wrong message, evoking danger rather than safety. Due to the backlash, the old logo was eventually changed to a new one. Mama's Baking, a small Greek bakery or cafe, gained attention for a bizarre logo showing a woman with flames coming from her lower half. Intended to symbolize passion or baking, the image was interpreted by many as unintentionally suggestive. The awkward placement of the fire raised eyebrows and led to jokes about what Mama really had cooking. It's unclear if the logo was ever officially changed. Kids Exchange, a local used children's clothing store, became infamous for a logo with poor spacing. The logo's font made it seem like a store for inappropriate services, depending on how you read it. The misreading horrified parents and drew widespread mockery online. Though it was quickly pulled, the owners could have avoided these mixed messages. Coon Cheese was a popular Australian brand for over 80 years, named after Edward William Coon, an American who patented a cheese ripening process in the 1920s. Despite this origin, the term coon, an abbreviation of raccoon, is a well-known racial slur directed at dark-skinned people of African, Indigenous Australian or Pacific Islander heritage. It emerged during the time of slavery in the United States, and Aboriginal groups had been calling for a rebrand for decades. Critics said the coon caricature is one of the most insulting of all anti-black caricatures. In 2020, the Canadian company that owns the brand announced it would retire the name. The cheese was officially renamed Cheer and the original branding disappeared. The change sparked mixed reactions across Australia. Chikita, the logo of the famous banana brand, has drawn controversy due to its banana woman mascot, which is criticized for reinforcing ethnic and gender stereotypes. Originally a cartoon banana in a fruit hat and later redesigned as a woman, the mascot has been accused of portraying Latin American women in a sexualized and exoticized way. Groups like the Food Empowerment Project argue it spreads outdated and harmful stereotypes about Latin America. Despite the backlash, Chikita has made no moves to change the logo. Catwear, a clothing brand from Maine, USA, aimed at independent women, but sparked controversy with a logo that replaced the A in its name with a stylized angry cat, shown rear first. While the intention may have been to express defiance or boldness, the execution veered into awkward territory. The cat's pose, which appeared to expose its behind, led to ridicule rather than empowerment. Although the company later modified the design, first by removing the cat's suggestive anatomy and eventually dropping the feline entirely, it was too late to salvage the brand's image. The Bureau of Health Promotion in Taiwan unveiled a logo that became infamous not for its health advocacy, but for its accidental vulgarity. The logo featured a circular motif meant to represent harmony and unity in public health efforts. However, the arrangement of the abstract human figures in the logo was a visual that many interpreted as a depiction of an intimate get-together. The logo was widely regarded as needlessly provocative and wildly inappropriate for a governmental health agency, especially one focused on maternal care and public health. Though it's unclear how such a suggestive form passed internal reviews, the public reaction was swift and unforgiving. Jokes spread online with many questioning what kind of health promotion the Bureau was really engaged in.